Hi, everyone. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to all those who are following me and to my viewers. I appreciate you all. I do want to let you know I have been gone for 9 years. So my crafting was at a pause because I had to be a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week caregiver. But I'm back. I've written down so many ideas, and I have pages and pages of ideas, and I wanted to go ahead and get one started here. So I wanted to show you how I put pine cones. I elevated them, I guess I should say. So I've had these, when they were only $1, I purchased these tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree. So I had tons of them, and because I haven't been crafting for some years, I'm using them now. So I'm just putting together sets of threes. So I'm going to be making squares. So four sets of threes, and I'm going to put 2 rows of them together. So 4 sets of threes times 2 will be 24. So 24, I'm doing 3 sets. So 24 times 3 would be 72, right? 24 times 3, 72. I believe that's right. I could be wrong. But anyway, 1 box of the tumbling blocks is all you'll need. And these come from the Dollar Tree. And I was told, as I stated before, they are only $1. Well, they're $1.25 now. I only paid $1 for them many years ago. So I apologize now. They were a quarter more, is what I was told. Haven't been to the Dollar Tree in many years, but that's still pretty cheap, and all you need is 1 box for this DIY. So now here I'm putting them together. You can put them together side by side. You can turn them one facing one way, the other. Do it however you want, the look you're looking for. But I'm putting them together here, and then I'm going to stack another row or another set on top of that. And I'm going to do 3 sets of this technique here. So there's a 3. And now I'm going to be drilling holes in the middle. Now, after I've let them dry, of course, for about an hour, I'm going to be drilling holes in the middle of each one. So I'm going to use a large drill bit. But before I do that, I'm going to take my dowels. Now, I call these wooden rods, but they're called dowels. The official name is dowels, but I call them wood rods. So I'm just cutting them in half, and I'm going to be using 3 of them. And now I'm cutting a hole, drilling a hole right down in the middle. Now, this drill bit is the size of the dowel, so it'll be a perfect fit. And I'll be using the same drill bit for the pine cones. So here I'm adding hot glue to the end of the wood piece to stick in the hole that I just drilled. And I'm sorry that the drills are blocking the view. But I did find that this was not a good idea, using hot glue. So I end up taking them apart and using wood glue, which worked out perfectly. So here I'm cutting another hole, or I keep saying cutting, but drilling another hole in the middle. And I'm not going all the way down through. I'm not going all the way through. I'm just going about halfway, maybe halfway down with the drill. And so there they are, all done, letting them dry. And while they're drying, I am cutting and drilling the pine cones. Now, keep in mind, when you drill the pine cones, you may lose, a stem or 2, but it's not a big deal. That is easily fixable. Here I'm going to drill the hole. And I find out it's hard to drill a hole because for some reason it keeps hitting and missing. So I don't want to mess up the pine cone. So I'm just taking an ice pick and getting a hole started because the drill bit is pretty large. So I'm just getting a hole started with the ice pick. Just enough to make sure the drill bit will fit right there and goes right through the middle. And there we go. Just go right down the middle. And I kind of move it around a little bit to make sure that the hole will be big enough, and there's a perfect fit. And so I'm going to just set that aside, and this is where I find that the hot glue is not working. So I pull that hot glue right on off of there, and I'm going to take my wood glue, which I'm running out, but I will throw nothing away until I've used every bit of it out of that tube. So I just cut the tube open. So I'm just adding it there. And I'll do the same for the other two. Of course, I'm not going to torture you and let you have to watch every bit of that. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Okay, so here I'm just going to go ahead and take my pine cones, and the part that I missed, for some reason I missed showing you how I elevated them and then put them up to dry. But it was pretty simple. I just went on and cut a hole through all. Then I put them on with some not hot glue, wood glue. And then all I did was prop something alongside each one. Like popped them up against the wall. And then I put something tall alongside each side. This way the pine cones would stand up straight without tilting over, and they would dry. So I gave them all night to dry. So here I'm just doing the same, just drilling holes through each one of the pine cones. Now I chose the largest to the smallest sizes so that they can, you have one large, one medium, and one smaller. I just want to make sure they fit before I move on. So now after they've had time to dry, I'm taking some leather brown stain, and I'm going to stain these. I just try to go in the direction of the grain so that they won't look so bad. So here I am just staining each one. And I speed it up so that you don't have to sit here and tirelessly watch the process. Now what I do to one, I'll do to the other two as well. Now here I am finishing them up. And I'm also, of course, painting or staining the wood rod as well. So now that I've finished that, I'll let those dry. And then I'll put the pine cones with some wood glue. I'll just add the wood glue to the top or the tip of the each of the wood rods. And then I'll just put the pine cones on top of them. And as I stated, press them up against the wall with something pressed up against each side, and they'll dry, and this is the finished result. They are standing perfectly. I take and I turn them and I twisted them, and they're fine. They're on there, and they're not going anywhere unless I pull them or pull them off or pull them apart. My next design is I'm using cotton balls. So I decided I wanted to light them. So I'm using some old lights. I have a ton of these lights that I use over and over again. And so here I'm just tying the lights to my wreath. So I'm making a cotton ball wreath for the winter. And all I did was tie it to the ring, the Wreath ring. I had decided to use this ring instead of using the ring that I planned on using because this actually works out better for the lights and all. So I'm just twisting them around, the lights. And I sped it up just to get through the process quickly. They do tangle sometimes, especially when they're being used and reused. And even though I try to roll them so that they won't tangle, they still tangle sometimes. But here I'm just twisting them around the entire ring. Now these rings come from the Dollar Tree. Again, I purchased a ton of these from the Dollar Tree a long time ago, and so I still have a bunch of them left. So I'm constantly making wreaths. And here, the finished. Now I'm going to start putting the balls on now. It won't matter about the hot glue hitting the wires or the lights because it will not affect them. I'm adding a little bit of hot glue in between so that they will adhere in between and on the wreath ring itself. So I start off with 3 rows, but then I end up taking it to 4 rows. I'll be real careful because the cotton balls are from the Dollar Tree, so they're not the best cotton balls, but they work out perfectly for this DIY. And again, the cotton balls are something I purchased a while ago, and I didn't purchase them actually for DIY. I purchased them to use for had other purposes for these, but I had so many, it works out perfectly to do this DIY. I've seen other people do the cotton ball wreaths, and I wanted to try it. So here I am. But I just wanted to do mine a little differently than what I've seen. So here I am. I'm just adding the hot glue to the ring, and it's going to hit the wires and the lights, but that's not to worry. It will still work. I have used hot glue on these wires before, and I've never had any issues, so I'm assuming I won't have any this time as well. So here I'm just going all the way around, just adding hot glue and then just putting my balls on. Now this is where I decided to do 4 rows, because when I got to this, 4 rows seems to work perfectly, and so I decided to go back and do 4 rows on the other as well. So this is where I'm going back and putting my 4 rows on. So I'm doing 4 rows of the cotton balls. And I'm going to end up doing more, but I'll show you that process in just a minute. So here I'm just lighting it up just to see if it's affecting the lights, and so far so good. Now, since I am only doing fall and winter, and there we go. That's all done so far. I have a little bit more to go, but so far that's looking pretty good. The lights are still working. So what I do is I have plaques. I have a load of plaques, and so first I'm going to add this, pool noodle. I cut it in half, and I just added it around with some hot glue, pressed it down, put something heavy over top, and let it adhere. And now I'm adding cotton balls to hide what the pool noodle didn't hide. And also on the inside of the plaque. Now the plaque is already on. I'll show you that in a minute, what it looks like on the other side. But I put the plaque on, and I'm using cotton balls in the middle to cover up the plaque, to hold the plaque, not cover it up, but to hold the plaque in place so that it won't fall out. And now I'm covering up what part of the wreath I don't want to show. So I'm covering all that up, and I'm using cotton balls because that's what I'm working with. So I'm just using the cotton balls to cover up the wreath ring that you can still see, because you don't want to see it. Even if it's on the back, I still don't want to see it, because it's something that I'm going to give to a neighbor, and I want it to look professionally done. And so I'm just covering up. And the inside, this part is just to kind of give it some volume as well, but to also adhere it so that the plaque will not fall. But I'm going to show you what the plaque looks like. As I stated, I'm doing winter. I'm not doing Christmas or Thanksgiving or Halloween themes. I'm doing winter and fall themes for my decor this year. So here is what the plaque looks like. And I'm just using some more of the cotton balls to add a little bit more volume. But at the same time, it helps to adhere the plaque more as well. But definitely for more volume. But as I stated, it's just going to be for me this year, since this is a year that I'm going to be celebrating alone. I'm not really going to celebrate. So I'm just going to just kind of do a winter and fall theme for this year. Now we'll be making some Christmas and fall decor, but it won't be for myself. It's basically to sell or give away. So here's what my wreath looks like after it's all said and done. This is, you can use it during the winter time, and this is if you want to use it for Christmas and light it up. So I'm very happy the way this turned out. I do appreciate you stopping by and joining my channel again for these 2 DIYs. Thank you so much. I hope you were inspired somehow. Thank you again to my new subscribers, and please don't forget to subscribe as well as like and comment. I love comment. I love any comments you may have, whether they be inspirational, motivational. Just please comment and let me know anything that you may want to see or may have. I have tons of ideas I will be implementing over the next months, years. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. See you all. Happy fall, and see you all next time. Bye for now. God bless you all.